Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is James Rink. For those of you who don't know, I am the host of Super Soldier Talk, and I have a old-time favorite, Misha Johnson, here today. Misha, how are you doing? Okay, they're a little muted, and we also have Jimmy Paine. So, Jimmy, his avatar. Look, if I put your avatar here, it messes up our the look. So we're just gonna trust me. Jimmy is here. Jimmy, you want to say hello? You want to unmute yourself and say hello real quick? So this show is about Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And Jimmy and I have just spent the last 3 hours watching this movie and combing through commentary. Now, because of copyright, unfortunately, if the movie is about Jimmy Paine, you would think Jimmy should be able to share the copyright. But however, that's not the case. So what I'll do is I will post 3-second clips, and then Jimmy will add some commentary, and then Misha can chime in, and as well as audience members, welcome to the chat as well. You can chime in as well. So let's go ahead and read some bios here. So today, MIB agent Jimmy Paine will reveal how he, as the real Admiral Kirk, alongside the Enterprise crew, thwarted Khan Noonien Singh attempt to weaponize the life-generating Genesis device. This MIB file served as the basis for the creation of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Jimmy claims to have served aboard a starship, Enterprise, which was a Vulcan-built starship crafted in the 1960s. His experiences aboard this ship are said to have inspired elements of the 1989 film Star Trek V, and I guess Star 2 and then 3, and the 4. That was so the 4 was the one we did a video of that already with the Loch Ness. It wasn't the whales; it was Nessie. Okay. As a super soldier, Jimmy Paine is known as Captain Dallas for his distinguished service within the secret space program, spanning from 1959 to 1996. Over these years, Dallas undertook numerous highly classified missions, serving as a shuttlecraft pilot for the Tall White Warriors at Area 51, as well as the Montauk Boys at Camp Hero. His work included service with the Weyland Corporation, where he encountered a xenomorph on LV-426, and his career took him across planets and moons from Mars to Titan. And in 1974, he and Duncan O'Finian came across a broken statue of a colossal humanoid face. That was on Mars. Yeah. Jimmy, we should do a video about that. During another mission, he encountered the so-called Tommyknockers, muscular tall greys lurking in Martian caves. On Titan, he served in an underground base where he encountered a creature ominously referred to as It, a monster reminiscent of Montauk experience, a fierce Bigfoot-like being that grew stronger with each attack. So let's see. He also served at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and he was on the Apollo 20 mission, accompanied by William Rutledge, where he encountered the EBE Mona Lisa, an Oriental featured humanoid. So that footage is on YouTube, and we've actually did a video about that. Also joining us today is Misha Johnston, a certified hypnotherapist specializing in multidimensional ET experiencer regressions, past life regressions, trauma recovery hypnosis. She offers galactic multidimensional sessions and is a trance channel who speaks with many galactic light languages. She facilitates virtual experiencer support groups 3 times a week on Zoom and in her home once a month. Misha is a third-generational experiencer, having contact with 8 different types of extraterrestrials. She is also part of the MK Ultra experimentation and a MyLab abductee. Her most complex MK Ultra was where she experienced 8 months of missing time, including a marriage she had no memory of. She shares her story in her books, and so she's been, okay, let's go on. She's also, you've been on the History Channel, Canadian, European, and Russian TV. Wow. In 1991, she founded the Star Family Contactee Groups, and she started the first teen and children's groups in the United States in 1991. She's an operator of Vector 5 UFO tours from Las Vegas and has been leading tours in Las Vegas, Hawaii, and California for over 3 years. Well, this is probably more. This is old. It's been more than 3 years, Misha, right? With her military-grade night vision goggles. So go to UFOnightwatch.com and also starseedawakening.org. Misha, you want to add anything to that?
Um, we are not alone. I was in that documentary doing a hypnosis session with the host, and it was pretty interesting. I gave my story and such on that. That would be the only thing new, other than really one little important thing. I have a new group. It's called Next Generation Millennial and Gen Z. And so I'm really want to let people know that that group is going to be hosted not by me, but by a Gen or a Z or a Millennial. I have several people that will be hosting it. And I have the first one or second one coming up Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So on Zoom.
And where can we go to learn how to sign up for that?
Starseed, well, you can see it on starseedawakening.org, or you can go to my Facebook, Misha Johnston. You'll see a post there. Misha Johnston with I don't have a T on my Facebook because they kicked me off. So it's Misha Johnson.
And they did the same thing to me. I lost my account in 2017, so that's why I go by James Ring on Facebook. But anyway,
I know. I think we did it the same year. No, mine was when did he? Oh, in 2016. Yeah, mine was.
so what did they get you on?
Because they really got me on because I was talking about Trump. But what they said it was was that I started a targeted and trafficked children and support group, which I now have, and they don't say anything about it now.
So I had a bunch of hip hop dance videos on there that had copyrighted music. Now that's what they officially said. However, at that same time, I talked to Chloe from one of the Monarch girls from Merge Group, and
Hmm.
she contacted me from an underground base using Facebook, and then the AI deleted my account because of that. Is what she said later on. But anyway, whatever, take what you want. So Jimmy,
Yeah,
these are things that you don't have to worry about, right? You're not on social media, I guess, right, Jimmy? Admiral Jimmy Paine. All right. So, but thank you for coming on here today to share this story. So, oh yeah, Ronnie, thank you for that. You can donate to healingsoulsurvivors.org. Um, I want to, Misha, uh, I want to go to LA to speak at Saeed's event, but no, I got like $40 of donations last month,
hmm.
so I'm most likely going to be staying home unless somebody could put some. I need about $700 to do
Oh,
it.
they should because you need to educate people on the secret space program and the super soldier. So hopefully somebody does.
Yeah, please donate. Come on, donate. So
Donate,
otherwise,
please.
I'm gonna have to stay home. That's like the first time it's been like this for like in 8 years. Okay, I don't want to talk about me right now. So Jimmy, let's go ahead and pull this up. So I found this video on a website which may or may not be um, the most. I don't want to say anything about it, but what I will say is we will post little tiny clips of this, and let's keep within compliance with copyright law. So how does that sound? So give me a moment here. I'm gonna pull this up. Jimmy, you want to maybe start off with any kind of introduction story before while I pull up this movie? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, affirmative. I was trying to pull up the movie, and I got it, so that's why I didn't want to start playing while you were talking. Okay. Mm. Oh, guys, well, guys, are we getting some problem? We can't hear Jimmy. Um, Jimmy James, we can't hear him 40 seconds ago. Um, I tell you what, Jimmy, let me mute myself and then you talk. Let's add you to the senior. Now go ahead and talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Audience members, can you hear Jimmy?
What happened? How far along did we get into?
I don't know. Let's see here. Did you say can't hear him? Okay. So sorry, guys.
When did you hit the button?
I never did mute it, so maybe because you weren't into the actual soundboard, but now you are. We can hear you, but the audience could. But now the audience can. Okay, go
Well,
ahead. Continue.
what can the audience say? What part that they?
Well, let's start back with the Phoenix Lights. I already pulled this one up.
Okay, all right. When the Phoenix Lights occurred in 1997, March of 1997, many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people saw something above Phoenix, Arizona, up in the sky. And James, don't roll the screen like that. It confuses me.
Is this what it looks like?
No, no, James,
Yeah.
don't,
Well,
don't.
I did pull up the Phoenix Lights.
Okay, well, don't jerk the screen. It's distracting.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I'm trying to find the right picture. But go ahead.
okay, well, the picture above my avatar. Um,
Okay.
but anyway, um, people saw something above Phoenix, Arizona. Well, that was the Enterprise letting the crew off to come on in to Phoenix and stretch their legs. But what I'm trying to say is when Mr. B was president a few years ago, a Chinese weather balloon floated across the United States, and they sent jets up to shoot it down. Now, the question tonight is, why would your government send fighter jets up to shoot down a weather balloon, but they wouldn't send fighter jets up to investigate these lights over Phoenix, Arizona? Because your government knows better than mess with me.
And
Okay.
they actually did a mock ceremony where they brought out a fake like a statue alien and said, "Oh, here they are. We
But
found them." And the governor
James,
they were making fun of it.
James, don't inject anything because it's going to slow down the program tonight. Okay. Um, but getting back to my story, uh, I was going to get to meet Gene Roddenberry. I had never met the man, and me, Scott, McCoy, and Scotty were going to beam down. And the cover story was that we were investors, and that we would get to sit, to watch them get their awards. And but the night came for the Star Trek actors to get their awards. And when we got into the convention, McCoy got sick. He had the flu, so he had to leave. We had to get him, back to the Enterprise. So the only ones that were there was me and Scotty. Now, Gene Roddenberry had been having some problems with the writers of that were writing the Enterprise's story. And one writer, they had formed kind of like a little union, or they were trying to form a union. And but the deal was that the writers were going to get 3% of the gross uh, profits from the movies, and that includes the toys, the clothes, the music. James, could you pull up those figures up? $11.5 billion.
Yes, give me a moment here. Have to pull it down a little bit. I think it's somewhere over here. Okay, total of 11.2 billion. So retail sales was about 5 billion, TV revenue 2 billion, box office another 2 billion, VHS 1 billion, as if we still use VHS, and DVD about half billion.
Yes. Well, those figures are kind of old because they're still selling DVDs and clothes and such. You know, it's a lot more than 11.2 billion. But Gene Roddenberry, you know, did not want to give the writers 3%. So what Gene Roddenberry did, he said, "Hey, I'm going to give you 3% of the profits, and then I'm going to give you an envelope with $80,000 in it, and I'm going to give you a trophy. And look, don't worry about your medical. We're going to give you free medical uh, from United Healthcare for you and all your family members because y'all have been, you know, loyal writers." Well, see, they wanted to get all the writers in one place at one time. So, sure enough, the night came to hand out the awards, and I was there. Now, by this time, McCoy had left because he, like I said, he got sick. He had to leave. And Scott sat at the table, and I said, "Well, hey, Scott, I gotta go to the head. I gotta relieve myself, you know." So I went to the latrine to relieve myself. And while I was in there, the door opened, and this guy walked in. Well, that was the writer that was negotiating these contracts. And he got in there, and then right after he got in, 4 or 5 other people walked in behind him. And all of a sudden, they grabbed the guy and strong armed him and held him up against the wall. Well, by that time, Gene Roddenberry enters the latrine. And the writer said, you know, what's going on here? And Gene Roddenberry called him SOB and said, "Do you really think I'm going to give you 3% of the gross products of this, what Star Trek gross?" And so Gene Roddenberry reared back and hit and, you know, popped the guy in the face. And then he took his knee and he shoved it into the crotch of the guy, you know, hit him in his nuts, you know, and just beat this writer, you know, just beat him with his nose was bleeding.
Hey, Jimmy, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the standard at that time? Was that excessive to ask for a writer to ask for 3%?
Oh, it was because it was 11.2 billion. It was astronomical. Okay, if you had 3% of 11.2 billion, plus you're gonna get insurance for the rest of your life. You know you know, these writers were like, you know, there would be multi-millionaires. Okay, so what happened
Jimmy, we're
was
in the wrong business.
what?
I said we're in the wrong business. We should become writers.
Well, what happened then? I'm echoing a little bit, James. What happened then was, um, after Gene beat this guy up, uh, they dragged the guy out. They left, and it was just me and Gene Roddenberry in the latrine. Well, Gene thought I was one of the security guys, which I wasn't, because I had never met Gene, you know. So Gene went over to the sink and he washed the blood off his hands, and another guy came in and they bandaged his hands up, and then he put on some white gloves, along with a new dress shirt, and he left the latrine, and I walked out, and my intelligence officer was outside, and I asked him, "Hey, what's going on here?" He said, "Well, the writers are in a bunch of trouble," and he said, "Jim, don't interfere. That's none of our concern. What's going on." And but anyhow, Gene walked back to the stage, and they were going to, like start handing the trophies out, plus the envelopes with the cash in it. They had $80,000. Well, they had a check in each envelope for $80,000, plus, the contracts, for the 3%, for the gross amount that that the writers were going to get. But what happened was Gene had gotten some canisters of gas, sleeping gas, and they had rigged it up where they were going to cut this gas on, the sleeping gas, and they knocked out all the writers. They all slumped over in the chairs. Now, what happened was this 18-wheeler pulled up, because see, they done chained and bolted all the doors to this building, and there was like about 400 or 500 people in there, all dressed up in tuxedos. But what happened was, by that time, they were bringing in teams of people, and they would pick up every person that was at that table and bring them to that trailer truck. And inside that trailer truck, they had a device similar to the Montauk chair. Now, if you ever watch the movie Total Recall, where Arnold Schwarzenegger is put into the chair and they zap him, he can't remember anything. He has lost time. So all of those 500 people, their minds were wiped, and they were put back into their chairs, and uh, and the money and the contracts were removed with the envelopes, and so the writers never knew that they were going to get 3% of the gross sales. Now, the reason I want to tell this story tonight, before we start off on Star Trek Enterprise, this has gone on more than once at other other awards given to these actors.
Wait, hold on,
Okay.
Jenny. Misha, do you know of any other incidents when that might have happened?
No, I don't.
Super Soldier Summit 2013.
Oh, Super
Biggest-
Soldier. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
There was a mass Milab abduction.
That's my love abduction.
We
Yeah.
all got abducted, and there was a chair and a rider truck.
So
That's right.
Misha was there.
so this happened to y'all as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what makes this unique? This was involving a movie that's hundreds of millions of people watch. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, these writers don't understand this, that their minds have been wiped. Okay. Now,
So, Jimmy, could you explain what harm would it be to just allow the people that made intellectual property to get paid?
well, Gene Roddenberry had a beef going on. Now, when Gene was a young man, he started off writing detective stories at Paramount. And then he started off, writing the Star Trek movies. But Lucille Ball was the one that got the contract for Star Trek, and he was more happy working with Lucille Ball than he was at Paramount. But it got so bad at Paramount.
Resolute Studios.
James, what are you saying? Because you're over talking me here now.
Resolute Studios.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But Gene Roddenberry was very upset with Paramount So he formed another corporation called Norway Corporation, where he could funnel the money uh, uh, offshore to these secretive bank accounts. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. Is we have three movie studios. We have the Lucille Ball studio, uh, and we have Paramount, and then we have this third studio, Norway Studios. Um, but I want to go ahead and move on to the X File.
Well, Jimmy, can you? But they're fighting over you and your story. How do you what do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, I never did a lecture on the Enterprise. Okay, I just to me it doesn't mean that much. I was just happy to see William Shatner get his awards because the Star Trek fan club just worried him to death. There's no way I would have put up with the Star Trek fan club. Okay, um, I'm not down in the Star Trek uh, fan club. I'm just saying I'm a very private person, and but that's just the way it was.
So, do you ever secretly go to Star Trek conventions? Don't.
No, no. After what I saw, how the writers were put into the Montauk chair, or should I say, total recall chair, and witnessed it, I knew that the conventions were dangerous.
And then, so is Gene Roddenberry in on it?
Yeah, Gene
Okay.
Roddenberry, uh, you know, messed the writers out of the true story. Had they just, told the truth about the Loch Ness monster, you know, that would have been much better. Even though it was a fiction movie. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it goes, James.
All right, Jimmy. So, what's the next step? Where do you want to take this?
Well, we can go ahead and start opening up the X file, the on
Oh,
Spock.
Misha, do you have any questions for Jimmy? Why don't you unmute yourself?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. All right. So let me
Thank you.
pull this up here. Give me a moment. Okay, I think this might be it here. Oh, okay, maybe not. Not this one. Give me a moment, guys. Hold on. Let me pull this one up. I probably have like 100 windows open on my computer here. It is one of this one here. Okay, give me a moment. Everybody be patient. Um, Jimmy, how about we maybe look at it this size? Maybe be less likely to get dinged by anything. And I'm not going to actually play this. We're just going to do little clips, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to mute the sound. So let's move it here. So we start off, we're in space with our music. Everybody knows about that, right? Let's go forward, Jimmy, and we got our. This is actually one of the old 1980s intros. Okay, so we just saw that it started in the 23rd century, but Jimmy, the Enterprise showed itself back in 1998. You want to explain about that? What's going on here?
It wasn't 1998. It was 1996, March of 1996, because I had a birthday,
Very
my
good.
my 40th birthday.
Okay. All right. So and go on. So how did you get to the 23rd century if you start off in 1996? Yeah.
Well, at first I started off in a simulation room on Earth. Now, if you go move up to where the simulation room is, yes. Now, hold back up just a second to that female, to the female, not her. Back up, James. Back up to the Vulcan, female. To the Vulcan, you got to back up, not go forward. James, back up. I can't hear you, James.
Yeah, that would probably help if I muted myself. So it is really super sensitive. I see. There's 307. We could do three.
James, back up.
It goes. It's 7-second segments.
Just, yeah, I understand. Stop. When I say stop, you stop. I say
Okay,
stop, you stop.
but I know, but I can't. It may not. I'm
Stop.
not. I'm okay. Yes.
Not now.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so we could get this thing deleted off the copyright.
James, we're never going to do what you want to do.
I'm trying. Yes, it only allows me to go in 7-second segments. Okay, so Spock is looking around. He's got Yasura over there. All right, let's move on. And there's some of the crew showing up. Yasuru. Oh, wait, no, that's not.
James, keep going. Stop.
Yes. Okay, so here we go. Here's your girl. So what's going on here?
So it wasn't the backup, it was forward.
James, stop. Now, this is Lieutenant Sovak. Now, I am having an affair with her. She is, I believe she's related to the first officer, Sovak, the science officer, the very first one that I met at Frenchman Flats, Nevada, when I was developing the proton torpedo. You know, that I told you earlier when I studied under Dr. Robert Oppenheimer. Her father and me developed the proton torpedo, which was developed on Earth. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, now she's in a simulation, a test.
All right, so let's go on here.
Just fast forward it.
So you can see the ship was built by the Vulcans in the 1960s. So that's
James. This is a simulation room.
Yeah, the technology.
The technology.
Yeah.
This is part of the test to become a Starfleet. Let me speak without being interrupted, James. This is how you become a Starfleet officer.
Okay. Do you remember the name of this test?
It'll be on.
They talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's go on. So there are 3 Vulcan ships. They show up.
James, just play it in little segments. Those are 3 Khan ships.
All right.
This is a simulation. You have to do this before you become an officer of a starship.
Engage auxiliary power. Prepare to return fire.
And so again, she's a rookie here. They're training simulator.
We're training her.
There we go.
Fire all faces.
They'd start dying off. And here we go. Let's move it forward here.
Cut your volume up, James, on that video.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, your volume's too low. Cut it all the way up. Yeah.
All right.
Here,
so
I'm coming in. I'm coming in. James, we both can't talk now. I'm coming in.
Any suggestions, Admiral?
Prayer, Mr. Suffolk.
Prayer?
That's what I told her.
All right. Okay.
Trainees, to the briefing room.
So that's still the simulator. Let's go on to here.
Performance. I'm not a drama critic.
So what is he like?
Oh, Mr. Suffolk, are you going to stay with the sinking ship?
Yeah, let's go on a little bit more.
And why not?
Here we go.
Because there was no way to win.
So they're talking about the simulation. There's no way to win, right, Jimmy?
There is no way to win. You have to have IQ close to 1,000. But I knew how to work on the computer to bypass the computer. See, I have experience on the HAL 9000 computer. If If you watch Space Odyssey 2010, I was there. It took me over 10 hours and 3 minutes to boot up the HAL 9000. So I took my knowledge of that and got into the computer. The computer's more of character than it was as much as about character than skills. But I always thought outside the box, and that's how I got past it.
So chat says it's Kobayashi Maru is the name of the test.
Yeah, that's the name of the test. I agree with that.
Awesome. All right, let's go on here. Paul, thank you. Work it, Jimmy. All right, let's pull that down. Okay, moving on.
Situations.
Let's fast forward again.
Hated Admiral, that thought had not occurred to me.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, so you gave her lecture. Let's go on here.
She hadn't caught on to me yet.
Game for the young doctor.
All right, so it goes from the simulation. And let's go next here.
Aren't you dead? I assume you're loitering around here to learn what it's.
Okay.
Now, he's going to tell me I failed it 3 times, which I did.
Rating I plan to give your cadets.
I am understandably curious.
They destroyed the simulator room and you with it.
Sorry, I have to keep pausing for copyright.
Kobayashi Maru scenario frequently wreaks havoc with students and equipment. As I recall, you took the test 3
You took the test.
times yourself. Your final solution was, shall we say, unique.
Yeah, Jimmy?
Well, I worked on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it cheating. I just worked on it.
Work on it. All right, let's see what you let's see your response here.
It had the virtue of never having been tried. Oh, by the way, thank you for this.
I know of your fondness for antiques.
Right, Jimmy? You like a lot of antiques?
Well, the old ship wheel I brought up there, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And you got those weapons on the wall.
Yeah.
The best of times, it was the worst of times.
And this is in the future, Jimmy?
Yeah.
In LA. Not San Francisco.
It's in L.A. It's really in L.A. in 1996, March of 1996, at undisclosed location.
Okay.
Message, fine.
None that I'm conscious of. Except, of course, happy birthday.
That's right, Jimmy. It was your birthday.
I'm 40 years old.
Yay.
I turned 40 in March of 1996. I'm an old man, James.
All right. Let's go to the part where you're given a gift here. Remember the gift? Let's do.
You want to just blow that all the way up and make us all 3 smile, James?
I'm just like, the copyright thing is
What?
unfortunately we live, so what's this? This is Bones, right? So it gives you some Romulan ale.
Yeah. That's some kick stuff too, But it was Bones that wanted me to go back,
Okay, so you're an admiral and Bones is persuading you to become a captain again.
Yeah, he wants me to take the Enterprise back out.
Okay. All right, so we can do
2283. Yeah, well, it takes your stuff a while to ferment, huh?
and again it's illegal, right, Jimmy?
Yeah. Can't have no alcohol on the Enterprise. Now we do have alcohol, but it's for dignitaries. But I had to lock it up because Bones likes to get to the liquor for his arthritis,
All right, so let's go next scene here. They're cheering. All right. And you're all getting comfortable. All right, let's go.
Hiding behind rules and regulations. Who am I hiding from? From yourself.
So you're hiding behind rules and regulations, Jimmy.
Yeah. I wasn't really happy being an admiral.
Yeah.
But I mean, someone's got to do that work,
Okay. Oh yeah, Kelly, I did ask that question to Jimmy. Was your girlfriend related to Spock?
I think she is. I did get my first girlfriend pregnant that had to leave Earth, Spark's niece. She wasn't pregnant when I first met her. I got her pregnant on Earth, but she had to leave. Um, but she did have my baby on Earth. She had it at her planet. So I know I've got several children. I've been with over 25 Vulcan females.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Quite,
the
quite,
ladies like me.
yeah, very good. Okay, let's go on here.
Jim, I'm your doctor, and I'm your friend. Get back your command.
Get back your command. All right, let's go forward again. Next scene. You're back. This was the Remington.
Yeah,
Or no, not the Remington. It'll tell you just
Reliant.
Reliant. That's it.
Starship Reliant. It's a much newer model than my ship.
Because now you're in the future.
Well, I hadn't time jumped yet.
Yeah.
This is in the future.
Okay. All right. So the next scene.
They get a distress call.
Stand in orbit, please. Mr. Beach.
Okay, you got distress call. Let's go forward. And then, so they're investigating this planet for. So this is the Genesis project. This is your
No, we hadn't got there yet.
market.
I left Ka on a planet because I knew how dangerous he was.
Okay. And then let's go forward here.
So much as a micro, or the show's off.
So they're saying this Genesis weapon can terraform an entire planet, but they want to find a virgin target.
It's not a weapon. See, this is where it gets interesting. At the time, I had not gotten in to the computer to find out what Genesis was. The Genesis is built similar to a proton torpedo, but it's got most of the proton taken out. It's just two glass cylinders in there. It's filled with some type of fluorescent green material. And the first test, it was done in a laboratory. The second test was done in a cave inside the planet. The third test had not been completed. It would take place on the surface. Now that's my son and my wife there. Well, shall I say, she's the one that gives me all the pain. I mean, I can't get rid of that woman, but she's got my son there.
Now she's in charge of the Genesis project.
Yeah, she always gets in stuff. I can't get rid of her.
Okay. All right.
Kirk was many things.
So now they're talking about you. Let me back it up so we can hear what she says about you, Jimmy.
Scott used to hang around with. That's exactly the kind of man.
Listen, kiddo, Jim Kirk was many things, but he was never a Boy Scout.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Back up just a little bit.
Do you want me to play it again?
Yeah, but she'll say Jimmy instead of Jim.
It into a dreadful weapon. Remember that overgrown Boy Scout he used to hang around with?
Boy Scout, huh?
That's exactly the kind of man.
Listen, kiddo, Jim Kirk was.
That's before that, James. You didn't back up far enough.
Yeah, but I'm
okay. Let's forget it. I mean, if somebody wants to listen to it, but she says Jimmy.
Yes, absolutely. So I
go by both names, Jim and Jimmy. Let's just move on. Okay. I got nothing to prove.
Okay. So now they're down at this planet that they're scoping out. This planet that's, I guess it has oxygen there, right, Jimmy? But it's just no life.
Yeah.
But it turns out it did have life, and we're going to find out later. So
it's been altered.
So they find this civilization on their scans, and they come across this structure here in the desert. And then once inside, it's empty, right?
It's cargo bay unit, James.
Okay. And it's so let's go forward because there's something here. So he notices this creature and this.
How is that?
We'll find out what that is in just a moment. Moving on. So he finds these books.
Those books are the ones that I left Ka to have. Now, see that Moby Dick book?
Yeah.
He would always quote from Moby Dick because, see, Montauk Boys think two-dimensional, and so does Ka. He's two-dimensional. That's very unique because I'm genetically modified, but so is Ka. But he's much more stronger. Ka's about 7.5 foot tall. He's extremely powerful.
Khan, yeah.
Yeah. He's psychotic too. Go ahead.
And now I just remember what I was going to say. So Jimmy, you actually was a Boy Scout. So
Well, in Vietnam, I was used as a scout.
okay, all right.
We've already shown a picture of me, the Boy Scouts in Vietnam.
Yeah, okay. So we got the Inferno, Paradise Lost, Moby Dick, King Lear, the Bible. It's actually got the Bible there. Jimmy, you left the Bible for Khan.
I was going to leave him there for the rest of his life.
Yeah. And then there's the SS Botany Bay. So
yeah, that's the spacecraft. When we found the derelict spacecraft, it was SS Botany Bay. Now, he was a prince on Earth 200 years ago.
Okay.
Well, in the future, I mean.
Yeah, I thought I'd maybe make the screen a little bigger. We'll see if we can get away with this. All right, let's move on here. So now they find out that it actually. So then Chekhov here, he figures out that he knows what it was. He remembers.
Yeah.
What about the card?
So they're like, "Oh, let's get out of here." And then like they're making their big escape, and then on the way out, get their suit up. We found that they weren't alone. Sorry for the noise, but yeah, they weren't alone. And okay, let's move on. So now we pan back to the ship. All right, there's Khan. And Jimmy, did they dress like that? They look like they're barbarians?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So there's Khan over here taking off his mask. And Jimmy, tell us a little bit about Khan. So he was 7.5 feet. They all were, right, Jimmy? 7.5 feet tall.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very strong. Tremendously strong. And he's worse than a serial killer. I mean, a serial killer has not got the instincts like he has.
Okay.
He's very psychotic.
Yeah, Misha, go ahead.
What was his race, Jimmy?
He had a bit Nordic mixed in with him. When his life pod was taken off of the SS Botany, it had all kind of strange writing on it, and I was leery about. I did not want to open the coffin up, or should I say the life pod. I thought it was a warning, but I was overrided on that, and Starfleet opened the life pod up.
Okay. Hey, so Chad says Kirk stranded Khan and his crew on this planet in one of the original TV episodes.
Yes.
Jimmy, do you remember why you initially stranded him?
He's extremely dangerous. He thinks like a Montauk boy, and if you know how Montauk boys think, you would be worried.
And was he actually a Montauk boy?
No, but he had Montauk programming in him. That's what made him so dangerous. He's genetically modified for war.
Jet Bird says named after a penal colony, Botany Bay. So this was a penal colony. So let's go on.
Well, you have to remember, the writers are under mind control. So just because you have a Star Trek writer, they're trying to re-put in their mess again, and it came off of the spacecraft, and so the information is incorrect. What he just stated, a colony, he's incorrect.
All right, let's go on here, Jimmy. Next scene here. Let's go to. So now they're in. Chekhov knows. Remember who he is. And they. So now Khan is trying to figure out why are we here?
I don't know you.
Because he thought Khan thought that the Starfleet would show up and check up on him, right?
Yeah.
Mr.
Chekhov.
Chekhov.
And he had like a photographic memory too.
Yeah, photographic.
So Jimmy, the series stated it was 15 years he was stranded. How long was he actually stranded?
15 years.
Okay, well that sounds about right. Okay, great, thank you. Let's go on here. 15 years there in seclusion here.
Chekhov, who is this man?
Criminal, Captain. A product of late 20th century genetic engineering.
What do you want with us? Sir, I demand to be viewed.
So genetic engineering.
Yeah. He's got the same genetics in him as I do, but his is more defined than mine.
Wasn't there like a connection to these beings blowing up Mars in the Star Trek universe?
James, don't interject something.
No, I remember. Yes, on Mars it got blown up.
James, you're listening to the writers. Leave that alone.
Okay.
Leave it alone. Don't inject anything.
All right.
Marooned here 15 years ago by Captain James D. Kirk.
So he kept a grudge for 15 years.
You buddy believe he had it in for me.
Save your strength. These people had sworn to live and die at my command.
And they were all big people like him too, Jimmy.
Yeah. They're all genetically modified.
200 years before you were born.
Okay, let's go on here. Next scene.
Year 1996. Myself, ship's company.
Oh, what was that, Jimmy? 1996? Let's go back. You want to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Right so there. I've done a time jump here.
He never told you the tale.
Told you the tale.
To amuse your captain. No?
Tell you the tale.
Never told you how the Enterprise picked up the Botany Bay, lost in space, from the year 1996.
There you go, Jimmy. The Botany Bay picked up. What's that about?
Well, the spacecraft was derelict, when we came across it. And we opened it up, and that's when I found the bodies in there.
Huh.
And the writing on the life pods, I did a remote viewing and knew it was something bad. It was a warning not to open the life pods up.
Okay, so.
Never told you how Admiral Kirk sent 70 of us into exile.
Admiral Kirk now sent 70 of them.
Yeah, there were 70 of them.
70, with only the contents of these cargo bays.
All right, let's go on here. I did click this.
Alpha 6 exploded 6 months after we were left here.
Okay, explain what's going on. Alpha 6 exploded.
All I know is that the planet exploded. It knocked the other planet. It altered the rotation of the planet. I didn't know anything about it till it was all over with.
Huh.
As I said, he was too dangerous to leave on Earth. He had to be put somewhere isolated. He's very dangerous.
All right, next scene here.
It is only the fact of my genetically engineered intellect that allows us to survive.
Let's go on here.
Power of millions.
Captain Kirk was your host. You repaid his hospitality by trying to steal his ship and murder him.
So
See, I subdued him when he tried to do that.
huh.
I was able to gain. He was trying to gain control of the Enterprise, but I stopped it.
Kelly's asking, "Where's Khan now?" Well, if we tell you how the story ends, it would ruin the story. Okay, you just got to wait. So let's go on here. Let me push it forward to here. Nope, it didn't click. This right here. All right, let's just. So now Khan goes over to this vat here. We saw the creature earlier. Grabs the creature, and it's like the only little bit of life left on that planet. Let's go forward. What happens next?
He's going to put a parasite in him.
So we got the parasite. Let's go forward some here. Grabs a. I want to. Let's see. Okay, so it goes over to the helmet.
Not quite.
And Jimmy, you want to explain what this parasite does?
Well, it goes in through to your ear and it wraps around your. What it'll do to get into your brain, and it'll drive you crazy, and then eventually it'll kill you.
Oh wow! But it makes you submissive.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get.
See, if you look at his wrist, he's got a band on his wrist.
Yeah.
And he can it sends a tone out that makes the parasite wiggle, and he's going to put some bands on both of the Star Trek officers and control the Star Trek crew by that way.
Yeah, because the Star Trek crew didn't want to tell Khan why they were there, which was a scouting expedition for the Genesis project. So, all right.
Well, it wasn't a scouting project for the Genesis at first. They had just saw something down there moving, and they wanted to find out what it was. Genesis hadn't started yet. Go ahead.
All right. Let's go here to this. So this is the scene where they're just putting in the worm. So I guess they put the helmet on, and let's go on here. So now next scene.
Now I'm going to take.
Yes, what's that, Jimmy?
Well, I'm going to take the crew out for training. It's not supposed to be a mission. I'm just going to take the crew out for a training mission because McCoy had talked me into it. You know what I mean?
Very good.
McCoy really wants to be back at his old job. So
all right.
I was hesitant about it. Go ahead.
So they bring all these new recruits there, and then they convince you to come back on the ship. And then so here's the space dock here. Can you confirm? Is that what it actually looked like?
Yeah.
Rise welcomes you. Prepare for docking.
Okay. All right, so let's move on. All right, so here you guys are.
I hate inspections.
So now you're about to inspect, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, I hate inspections. Yeah. I made it real clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, that's actually what it looked like. Pretty accurate.
Well, yeah, James. I mean, if that's what was in the clouds, that was what was above Phoenix, Arizona. Go ahead.
Well, I for one am glad to have you at the helm.
Actually, I think you know what? There was a scene over here. This part right here, Jimmy. That's the part where they kept Nessie, right?
Yeah.
So they filled out this whole thing here with water.
Yeah, the tanks were in there.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you're docking right now. Let's go on. Okay, so you're meeting new recruits.
Surely that. Oh. And who do we have here?
Okay, so that was Spock's nephew there, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's the nephew there.
And do you want to talk about the colors?
Well, the white are the trainees. The red are the actual officers or future officers. See, the red ones are going to be future officers.
Okay. You mean the white with red, or the red on the right side?
James, let's not get too complex tonight. You have viewers that don't understand it, and you're confusing them.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to.
I know. But
okay, so this part here.
Now, play her speaking.
Yeah.
This is how Vulcans speak.
Okay, so.
This is very true. He's talking about me.
Okay. And you can confirm that's what Vulcan sounds like.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, this scene here, you're still on your inspection. And then, oh yeah, right here, Jimmy. This part.
Pull my handkerchief out and wipe down things.
It skipped it. Oh well, you just gotta go watch the movie. Okay, here it is. There's your handkerchief. And this right here is where the dilithium crystals.
Well, that's part of the, powering up the to the main thrusters in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Swirls the protons around. Now this is important. You see that little thing and stop.
Back over here.
Yeah, the little cap thing.
I can back it up.
I tell you to stop. All right, right beside that man in white.
Yes.
It's about chest high. It looks like a vent pipe. You take that cap off. That's where you put the crystals in there.
Right here.
Yeah, that powers the ship up. That room's radioactive.
Huh.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then we're over here.
You'll find everything shipshape, Admiral.
Oh, do you? Do you have any idea, Midshipman Preston, how many times I've had to listen to Mr. Scott on the comm telling me his trouble? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, Scott always exaggerates when something goes on.
Yeah. So let's go on here. Okay, there's Scotty there.
Youngest Admiral. Crazy to get to
You're the youngest Admiral.
space. Every young man's fancy. I seem to remember it myself. Well, Mr. Scott.
And let's go on here.
Are your engines capable of handling a minor training cruise?
And let's go on. Right here.
How about the rest of the inspection?
See, I'm telling him to cut it. I don't want to go through inspection.
All right. Okay, so now we're back
Now
here.
it says USS Enterprise. That's not correct. That's another thing
here.
that the writers got wrong. Go ahead.
Was it actually the USS Enterprise?
No,
Just Enterprise.
Enterprise.
All right.
The writers got that wrong. Go ahead.
Okay, so they go on. So they're on board the bridge here, and now they're going to go to. There's Spock. So Spock's the captain of this vessel. So and let's go on here.
Take her out, Mr. Savage.
There's your girl again.
Yeah.
Aye, sir.
She had me worried for a minute, but she's okay.
For everything, there is a first time, Lieutenant.
It's like a teenager. You give them the keys to your car. You worry. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you agree, Admiral?
Aft thrusters, Mr. Sulu.
All right. Now let's go on. Now you're pulling out, and let's go here. Let's move on.
Now the size of that man is really representative. That's real.
Yeah.
How big it is.
Wow, it's massive.
Yes, it is.
There's the ship panning out. Let's go over here.
Captain's discretion. Mr. Sulu, you may indulge yourself.
All right. Off you go. Let's go over here. Now we're panning back to Genesis. So there's the, not the weapon, Jimmy, right? The technology.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another piece of information we could squeeze into the memory banks. Next time we'll design a bigger one.
Oops. Sorry. Let me get this out here.
You would want to build it.
Dr. Marcus.
So that was Dr. Marcus here, and now we're going to get a video.
Please.
So incoming video. Who could it be?
Check off.
Dr. Marcus. Good.
Remember, he just got drilled out.
They're en route to you and should be there in 3 days.
En route, what?
Again, they're coming in. They're not supposed to do that.
We weren't expecting you for another 3 months. Has something happened?
Nothing has happened. CT Alpha 6 has checked out.
Okay. Let's just move it forward here.
Quiet, Commander Chekhov. This is completely...
So again, Chekhov is totally under persuasion with the drilled out parasite.
He's susceptible to mind control.
Civilian project under my...
So again, Genesis is civilian. It's not military.
Civilian.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be under jurisdiction of the Federation.
Again, don't inject, James.
Admiral James T. Kirk.
So they're asking who was it?
Yeah, I'm getting the blame here.
Yeah, they're blaming you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, but now he's under control.
Yeah, he's gotten control of that ship now.
Well done, Commander.
There you go.
See how smart he is? He's able to get control of his ship.
Yeah, wow.
That's why I put him on that planet.
Okay, so now we come back. You're here in the...
Yeah, that's if you go back and where she comes in, so that's when I, talk her into like, hey, let's go to bed, She's sleeping with me.
Lieutenant, are you wearing your hair differently?
Okay, Jimmy, we kind of get the point here. Let's go on here.
It's still regulation, Admiral.
Talking about regular. Let's move on.
May I speak, sir?
She wants to know about the test, so I won't ever tell her.
Resolve the situation.
There's no correct resolution. It's a test of character.
Test of character.
May I ask how you dealt with the test?
You may ask.
I'm not going to tell her.
Well, can you tell us, Jimmy? How did you cheat the test?
I can't tell you that, James.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll be giving away all the Star Trek secrets.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
That's a little joke.
So study the HAL 9000 to find out.
Yeah, you had to study
a clue. A clue.
A clue.
Did you change your hairstyle?
I haven't noticed.
He thinks that I'm, had sex. He thinks I've had sex in the elevator there.
Did you?
Now I can't tell that either.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So we don't be here all night.
I'll take it to my quarters, Uhura.
Aye, sir.
Never rains, but it pours. As a physician, you of all people should appreciate the dangers of reopening old wounds.
That she's not my ex. I got him.
You're talking about the Genesis doctor.
Yeah, that's another ex. I can't get rid of her. Lord,
There she is.
I got two women on one roof. You know,
And she gets really negative towards you.
she's always been like that. Go ahead.
Taking Genesis. Who's taking Genesis?
All right, so now they're saying Chekhov says
The communications between me and her are not good. It's breaking up, James. She's cutting out on me. Kind of like me and you talking tonight on the computer. You're cutting out. Misha's cutting out. Well, she's cutting out.
Yeah, speaking of Misha, you have any questions, Misha, or comments? No, okay. All right. Yeah, I was just looking at it. Okay, moving on here.
Who is taking Genesis?
I can see it, but I can't hear.
Carol.
Jim, did you give the order?
All right, let's go on.
No, that, but I can't believe the Starfleet.
I've tried warning you before. Scientists have always been pawns of the military.
Starfleet has kept the peace for 100 years. I cannot and will.
Okay, let's move on. Next scene.
But
okay, you want me to play this one, Jimmy?
Yeah, now that part is very true. I did go to his apartment, and
yeah,
he just told me, you know, that yeah, he knew that I cheated, but I was really happy being a captain rather than an admiral.
Huh.
Play it, because he's going to tell it to me.
Okay.
We have a problem. Something may be wrong in Regular One. We've been ordered to investigate.
I'm sorry, I got to keep stopping it for the copyright.
Cut the volume up, James. The volume yeah. The volume, yeah. Is it up all the way? Go ahead.
Regular One is a scientific research laboratory.
Okay, so let's go on.
I told Starfleet Command all we had was boatload of children. But we're the only.
I might have to push it forward. But you could always watch the movie on your own.
Under real pressure.
As with all living things.
Listen to this.
Gifts.
Listen to this.
Oh, wait, Jimmy, you over.
Stop it. James, don't jump around. Stop it and start.
You were talking over. I couldn't hear it. I had to back it up.
I know.
As with all living things, each according to his gifts. Of course, the ship is yours.
Each according to their own gifts.
See, he wants me to take over.
Right. Again, Spock is the captain.
Yeah, but he really wants me to take over. And he's done figured out I'm not happy being an admiral, you know.
You take the ship. You proceed from a false assumption.
Okay, so it takes over the ship, and Vulcans don't have any emotion. Well, not.
Well, I have ego. Vulcans don't. But James, don't move it. Just play it. Stop.
I can't, dude. I just can't do it.
Okay.
I have to keep.
I understand. But you
best destiny. Anything else is a waste of material.
I would not presume to debate you.
That is wise.
Okay. All right. So now you're back on the bridge, and we're taking off to. This is the other vessel.
That's the Reliant.
So basically, they're free now, but instead of just running off of freedom,
yeah, he's got a grudge against me.
All right, let's push forward here.
Life from lifelessness. It is a process whereby molecular structure is reorganized at the subatomic level
Now they're talking about the Genesis device.
Into life-generating matter of equal mass.
And Jimmy, is this Vulcan technology too?
Yeah.
One of our experiments was conducted in the laboratory.
Okay.
So we can make a planet to live on. We don't have to find a planet. We have the ability to make a planet livable for humans on if anything was to happen to Earth.
Huh. Oh, well. Okay. Let's go on here. It's going to be my most common word tonight.
Their dead form. The device is delivered, instantaneously causing what we call the Genesis effect.
Here.
Fascinating.
The reformed moon simulated here represents the merest fraction of the Genesis potential. A logical conclusion. When of population and food supply, the usefulness of this process becomes clear.
Okay.
Now I want to say something.
Yes, go ahead.
We hear a lot about pollution on Earth, and we should be concerned. But with Genesis, we can make a new planet if anything was to happen to our Earth.
Huh.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It literally is Genesis.
My logical friend? Are you by any chance in favor of these experiments?
So obviously, Bones over here doesn't agree.
Well, if you were to introduce the Genesis to Earth, it would rewrite all. Other words, it would destroy us and create a new life form. Okay, so it can be used as a weapon. That's why you have to use it on a dead planet.
All right, so Kirk takes over the ship. Now he's new the captain, and now this problem shows up.
Sir, may I quote General Order 12 on the approach of the vessel?
This is where I messed up. I should have did General Order 12. That's the only mistake I made in the whole mission.
And tell me, what's General Order 12?
Well, she's getting ready to state it, James.
Okay, well, I know. Okay, all right, I'll play it.
When communications have not been established.
Lieutenant.
I'm going to have to back that up again. Oh, my gosh, where we were. I think we're right here. There.
Sir, may I quote General Order 12 on the approach of any vessel when communications have not been established?
Lieutenant.
He's going.
I was well aware of the regulations.
I see.
Jimmy, she doesn't explain what it is.
You're not supposed to. Well, she just said it, James. Would you not listen?
When you approach a vessel, what?
To establish communications, James.
Yeah.
It's very hard to understand.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I think we've got some audio trouble.
Okay, so when we pan back to the Khan's commandeered craft here, and they're all scheming and planning, like, oh, what are we gonna? How are we gonna?
Stop!
This one here, yeah.
Now, what's unique about that computer? That computer came from Camp Hero. That is a Montauk computer, Misha. We would steal parts and put it on the Enterprise, but that computer came from Camp Hero on Long Island, on New York.
It was IBM what?
I want to say it's IBM 3600. I believe it's IBM 3600.
Is that similar to the HAL 9000?
No. Well, it's got the HAL 9000's got that and a lot more other stuff in it. But we would use that. We use that to power up the radar dish at Camp Hero. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Everybody stay with me here. Okay, so now I'll just play this scene real quick. Right when we get to there. Intruder, phasers.
I'm getting a voice message. They say their chambers coil is overloading their comm system.
Spot. Scanning. Locking phasers on target.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's going to hit me real hard on that one.
There it comes. Ah! I got you. They pan the camera. They got Jimmy.
Now that craft is really moving. So he's knocking me off.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so evac. There's decompression issues going on here.
I have a question for Jimmy. So there's a good question in the thing. So you're saying it's a documentary. So is most of Star Trek or just this particular movie kind of using documentary and real life stories?
It's a form of soft disclosure. You get an intelligence file that's blacked out, and then you get, psychics, to remote view, and then you get writers to write in the blackout spots. And then, like I said, with $11.2 billion at stake, that's why they want to turn the intelligence reports into soft disclosure, because they're making money off of it.
And Jimmy, did you get paid for your service?
No, I never asked for a dime.
Okay. All right.
The shields.
What the hell are they? Admiral, the commander of the Reliant is signaling.
Okay.
He wishes to discuss terms of our surrender.
All right, Jimmy, you're about to surrender, right?
No. Well, I knew how serious it was, and I had, damage done to, with because he opened up the side of the ship like a can opener.
Okay.
When he,
And it was like 2 football fields long.
Yeah.
Like 2 inches wide.
About 2.5 inches wide, as long as 2 football fields.
Right.
He cut into a lot of cables, electrical cables.
And now you figured out who it finally is.
Yeah. Now I was shocked to see him.
Khan, you still remember Admiral?
All right. There you go. Khan's here. Let's go to here.
This attack. Where is the crew of the Reliant?
You want to explain that, Jenny? What happened to the crew?
I'm sorry, what's your question?
Yeah. What happened to the crew of the Reliant?
Well, he's taken over. He's disposed of all of them. He's like a serial killer. He's worse than 10 serial killers in one. He kills everybody he comes across. You can track him by the dead bodies he leaves behind. He's that deadly.
Huh.
Yeah.
Surely I have made my meaning plain. I mean to avenge myself upon you, Admiral.
So he has a grudge against you, Jimmy.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, James, because I left the book, Moby Dick, he's taken the lines of Moby Dick. He's like Captain Arab. He wants to hunt this Moby Dick down, this whale, and he is crazy. I mean, he quotes Moby Dick the whole time. Yeah. I don't know. Crazy. Go ahead.
Genesis.
Genesis? What's that?
Don't insult my intelligence, Kirk.
Give me some time to recall the data on our computers.
Okay, so they're looking for.
So I'm trying to stall him because I got to get all starships. Yeah. I can bring down his shields, but I need time to pull it up from the computer.
We're fine.
Okay, so they're trying to get unconditional surrender, but you're stalling, and now
Admiral,
you're looking up for that code.
I'm trying to get the code to bring the shields down.
And he doesn't know about these codes, I guess.
No, he hadn't figured them out yet.
Good. Good for you, Jimmy. Oh, so now you're wearing the glasses that were like antique.
Yeah.
400-year-old glasses.
Yeah. I need glasses to read.
Is that true? So that's true?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
To prevent an enemy from doing what we're attempting.
There you go.
Using our console.
And move forward here.
Khan, How do we know you'll keep your word?
Oh, I've given you no word. Keep.
There's your speech, and let's move on here. So now.
So I'm getting ready to get him.
All right, you take over the craft.
So I'm going to bring his shields down now.
Wow. Is this look semi-accurate?
Yeah, it's accurate.
Torpedo load status. Okay.
Now I'm not going to shoot a proton to him. I'm shooting lower yield stuff.
Our shields are dropping.
So you drop their shields, and now bang, 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 bang. Okay. And that was targeted where, Jimmy?
Just hit play again.
I had to go back. I think it was
Stop and hit play.
Right here.
Our shields are dropping. Raise them.
Okay. 20. So let me move it. 3 seconds. Here we do. Here we go. You see all the wires that popped out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take out the command.
Very good.
The bridge, I'd take it out.
And now looks like there's disabled a little bit. Okay. And so
You go right on quoting regulations.
oh yeah, she quoted you another regulation there, Jimmy.
Yeah, I need the regulations. Because I had screwed up, I admit,
I did nothing. So they covered my britches down. So you see now.
Bless you.
Mr. Savick, you go right on quoting regulations. Meantime, let's find out how badly you've been hurt.
All right. Okay, here, so we got sick bay. These again, most of these are cadets, right?
Yeah. All greenhorns are just kids. Some of them are not even, just barely able to shave, if they can shave, kids.
Can you tell us about the healing capabilities of this technology?
Well, it's just meant to hold till they can get them back to a pod where they can heal them. But Enterprise is not meant for that. Okay, it's supposed to be a training mission, James.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, again, the craft just got off a dry dock, wasn't it? It wasn't not totally full functioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. So
this is Scotty's nephew here.
And what's this device here that he's using?
He's taking vitals with it. Sends sound waves through your body.
Okay. So he grabs you, Jimmy.
Yeah, he gets blood on my shirt.
I didn't hear did you guys hear what that? I'm gonna have to back it up. What did he just say? Jimmy, do you remember what he said to you?
James, that's over 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 25 years ago.
All right, let's play it.
Warp speed.
And he dies in your hands.
Yeah. I felt bad about that. And Scott, I was really worried about Scott's mental state because, that's his nephew.
Yeah. Wow. This probably wasn't the only time, too, you witnessed somebody die in your arms.
Yeah.
Scotty.
Play.
Yeah.
It hurt him real bad. It hurts me just seeing how bad Scott was hurt.
Yeah.
Brings back memories,
Rearrange the universe.
There still might be time.
We were talking about this earlier. This the EKG.
Similar to it.
Yeah. All right.
We're alive only because I knew something about these ships that he didn't.
Because the guy's way smarter than you, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's got an IQ in about 800 or more, maybe up to 1,000.
Yeah, Misha,
he's very smart. Go ahead. Got any questions, Misha?
No. Okay.
Okay. Because I want Misha to stop. I mean, I need to get questions from Misha. You know,
Well, we got questions from the chat.
Well, I know, but Misha is primary who I'm leaning on tonight. You have to remember, just because they saw it doesn't mean I can answer their question, because these writers are under programming control.
MK Ultra.
Yeah.
Okay, so the writings are under programming control. So let me ask this question: are they writing after they get under the control, or do they write the true things that happened, or did they? You know, that's, I guess, my question, because what were they writing before they were put under mind control?
Well, they were just making it up. Now, what happened was they were wanting 3% of that $11.2 billion. And so Gene, like I said, it was arranged to wipe their minds, so you know, they would have to pay the 3% to the writers.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they input? You know, because when they wipe, they sometimes also input. Did they input things into their minds so that they would write the script the way they wanted them to?
I don't think they did. Now, one thing I was concerned with was William Shatner, and I asked, you know, the intelligence officer, did they do that to William? And I never got a straight answer back. You know, I mean, I didn't know what they were going to do till that started happening. But I did inquire, did they do that to William Shatner? And they never would answer me back. So it's possibly, you know, he might have been suspicious, but I don't think he really knew that he was playing a real character. You know, go ahead.
Okay. All right, so they're back over here at the Genesis lab here, space station.
Please come in.
So I'm pulling up to it.
Yeah, they pull up. There's nobody here. And actually, there's not just nobody there. The technology and the knowledge
No way of telling if Reliant is still in the area.
is gone.
Precisely.
And there you are, Jimmy. You were bleeding. You got that. I mean, not you were bleeding, but you had blood on your.
Yeah.
From the nephew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Planetoid beyond.
Regular is Class D. It consists of various unremarkable ores.
All right.
There's no such regulation.
Oh yeah, they're talking about. Here's another regular. Let's go back up.
Yeah, she wants to. I'm trying to get out from underneath her. She's very motherly, you know, to me.
Okay.
She just wants to be with me.
No flag officers shall beam into a hazardous area without armed escorts.
So you get your armed escort.
There's no such regulation.
Jimmy.
All right.
Weren't you required to like take tests to memorize all that?
Yeah, but I'm just playing with her, you know.
What ship is yours?
Okay.
Be careful.
All right.
He did say that to me. Be careful.
We will.
Okay. And
Indeterminate night.
and you want to comment about the jackets?
Yeah, not everything's heated. They conserve the power for some levels. You know, we wear jackets. We can always take them off when we go to a heated area. Go ahead.
Signs.
Okay, so you're looking for biosigns. And then next to the synthostasis pod here, there is. Let's move forward. Nothing around. Jimmy, is this the set design? Is it pretty accurate?
Pretty accurate, James.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm lowering them down.
Yeah. So
See how he kills everybody he comes in contact with?
wow.
He kills everybody.
Okay.
Respond, please. Admiral.
All right. Forward. So you break this glass here.
Yeah, it's a container there.
Oh wow. How come Khan didn't kill them? Chekhov and
I'm not sure. I think he's got other plans for them. They're going to try and kill us before it's over with. Go ahead.
All right. So they get pulled out.
Creatures.
Stop.
Yeah, they put creatures.
When he said that, I thought, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't know he had a parasite in him. Continue.
Next scene here.
Thought he controlled us, but he did not. Captain was strong. Captain.
All right. And
tortured those people.
Yeah, so they got tortured. Let's go to the next scene, which is here.
Out of the people.
Okay, so they go to the teleportation lab, right? Because they looked at for all the pods. There were no pods missing. So they're trying to figure out where the doctor was, right? Your girlfriend, ex.
Well, see, I'm getting ready to go down to the planet because we found out, they teleported down. So we're going to teleport down and try to find them, We still haven't figured out what's going on at this point. Go ahead.
The unit's been left on, which means nobody remained to turn it off.
Okay. So they ascertain they're on the planet.
Hours would seem like days.
I read you, Captain. Let's have it.
Oh, Jimmy, you want to explain what's going on here?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, so you're talking to Spock, right? You told him you're giving him misinfo, right?
Yeah.
Is grave, Admiral. We won't have main power.
So I'm trying to trap Ka,
So Spock knows that they're trying to give out disinfo. So he says it's going to take 6 days.
Well, no one knew what was going on, but I knew, and Spock knew it, to lay the trap for this this being. So he's listening.
Power has temporarily failed. Restoration may be possible in 2 days.
2 days. All right. So Khan's like, yay, we can make my big move here. And then you guys go down. Okay, you're right. Jimmy, is this real?
Let me tell you something. If you notice, McCoy always looks over at me. What the real McCoy does, he's scared. He's scared that he's always been paranoid about the beaming down.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
feels like you're trying to get a breath of air in, but you can't get a breath of air in right before you teleport.
And what's like the maximum range they can teleport you?
James, let's not get into technical stuff because you'll confuse the ordinance tonight.
Okay.
We're going down. Don't inject anything that's not in the movie, okay?
All right, so you're back down here on the planet.
Yeah.
Admiral.
Okay, yeah, you find the Genesis weapon. Not weapon, device.
Now, let me tell you something here. Stop.
Okay.
So they're taking my proton torpedo. The only one that really knows how the proton torpedo is designed is me and Officer Sovak. Officer Sovak died when I first did my first mission. But they've taken my proton torpedo and they've taken most of the proton out of it, and they've added 2 glass valves in their cylinders. And they're loaded with some green fluorescent material. Go ahead.
And so they got that from Montauk.
No, the wiring for the device came from Montauk, which is very unique. I got it from a old cell tower, not the radar tower, but an old cell tower by the guard's house.
And Jimmy, can you give clarification? Is it a photon torpedo or proton torpedo?
Well, you could say it either way, James. It's just my southern accent.
Okay. There we go. And moving forward here. Uh-oh. What's going on, Jimmy?
See, my son don't know who I am. I didn't know who he was at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
He's just trying to protect his mother. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys getting a little scuffle over here. So then, and then your mom shows up.
David, you're just making this harder.
I'm afraid it's even harder than you think, Doctor.
Jimmy, you want to explain what's going on here?
Doctor.
Well,
please don't move.
That was real scary when he pulled the weapons up. It's very frightening when he pulled that up. Go ahead.
Huh.
He's under mind control. He's under mind control.
Check. I'm sorry.
You want to explain about the wrist? You see the pad?
Yeah. What he's got on his wrist, it sends out an electrical signal that makes the creature, it agitates the creature, and it can make them go, insane. It'll hurt them. Or it hurts their brain. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So now,
see, he's wearing it too.
Yeah.
I have indeed, Captain. You have done well.
He'll also call him Excellency.
Oh yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, he did call him Excellency.
Captain, we are waiting. What's the delay?
All is well, sir. You have the coordinates to beam up Genesis.
And why didn't he beam up Genesis, Jimmy?
Because he wants to kill me, James. That's all he lives for.
So he was really, really smart, but not really, really wise.
Well, he's real smart, but he has two-dimensional thinking, as Montauk Boys do as well.
All right, moving on.
I try to obey, but
all right, so still under mind control. And
yeah, he don't want to get that creature stirred up.
And what could go wrong?
Sir, it is difficult. I try to obey, but kill him.
And this did happen, Jimmy.
Yeah. I felt sorry for him,
And then the worm was vibrating in his head.
The parasite was moving because the signal was coming out from the wristband to agitate the parasite.
Huh. All right. Moving on here. Okay,
that's when I killed it.
Yeah, it came out of Chekhov.
Yeah.
So the guy, he committed suicide.
Yeah, which is, I don't like watching that part, but he committed suicide.
There's the parasite. Did it actually groan?
James, it was that size when it came out of his ear. You don't inject. If you don't see it, don't inject it. I mean, ask me a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But don't inject.
So he's talking to Khan right now.
I'm talking to him.
Khan, you've got Genesis, but you don't have me. You are going to kill me, Khan. You're going to have to come down here.
And why were you doing that, Jimmy?
I'm trying to get him out of the spacecraft. He's dangerous, James. I'm still trying not to take him on. I want to get him away from the weapons that he has.
Because that thing could have been dropped on planet Earth.
Yeah, because with that, he's got too much power. He wants to come to Earth and kill everybody on Earth. That's why I was trying to separate him from the Genesis device. That's not in the movie, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's really got me.
Lieutenant Savick calling Enterprise. Can you read us?
He's coming around.
Huh? Can you read us?
Okay, Jimmy, you want to explain what happened in this part here?
Yeah, I got both my exes together, and that's not good. You know, I really love Lieutenant Savick. You know, I didn't love my ex, you know. Well, I mean, I love my son, but, you know, how do you wrestle the two women apart, you know? She's just a poison pill. I wish she had never showed up. But go ahead. Go ahead.
But the Genesis doc lady was making fun of the Vulcan lady.
Yeah. My ex was making fun of my girlfriend.
And so, okay. All right, so she leaves.
I don't understand. Who's responsible for all this? Who is Khan?
Oh, it's a long story.
You're right. It's a long story. Go ahead.
Survival.
There's food in the Genesis cave.
All right, so you're getting hungry, right?
Yeah.
We thought this was Genesis.
This? It took the Starfleet Corps of Engineers 10 months in spacesuits to tunnel out all this.
That's true. That part is true.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. This is just...
Okay, let's just push forward. It's just small talk here. Okay, so now you're going to go to Genesis Cave.
Yeah.
Get something to eat.
And she tells me things about my son, you know.
Huh. And there's Chekhov over there.
Yeah.
Were we together? Were we going to be?
And Jimmy, why did you break up with her? Was she was she very manipulative?
She's the biggest whore on Earth. She's a presidential model, and everywhere she goes, she causes trouble. You know, I can't get. She's like a chain and a ball on you know, you can't get rid of this woman. You know, every time I get happy in life, she shows up and screws up everything. And let me say something else. And when we did the first movie, Alien with Ripley, it's the same woman. She plays Ripley under Alien 1, you know. She's always presidential models or something. If you have a presidential model as a girlfriend, get ready. I mean, that's all they want to do, you know, is manipulate but she's, and I'm not talking about Misha here. I'm just saying, because I know Misha's a presidential model. I'm telling on you tonight, Misha. Oh yeah, you know how she is.
Ask you a question.
Yeah, she's just like you. Take an inch, give an inch, and take a yard. You know?
Well, unless everything was integrated. Once you get integrated, the presidential model and the alters are not in control.
Well, guess what? She ain't integrated to this day. Yeah. Go ahead, James.
Absolutely. Let's see here. So,
You show me a son, I'd be happy to help.
You find out you have a son?
Yeah. I didn't know it.
Why does she keep that from you?
Because she wanted our son to be in her life and not mine. She's very manipulative. Everything has to be around her. She likes attention. Now this part is very true because I was surprised to see this now.
Oh wow.
Now what you're seeing is it's like fluorescent. It makes its own light. And I want to say something else. If you might watch the movie Avatar on the planet
Pandora.
Pandora, it has it's very much like that, and you'll see the water light up on the waterfalls if you play it on a minute or two.
Yeah, bioluminescent.
Yeah, this is a world we're going to have if we ever leave Earth, if we join with the Vulcans.
Okay. All right. So now Khan is back.
Yeah.
And angrier than ever. You want to talk about the waterfalls here?
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Just look at it. Let it run for a minute or two. 3 or 4 seconds. See the water moving down?
Huh. Sir, may I ask you a question?
Listen to this.
What's on your mind, Lieutenant?
The Kobayashi Maru, sir.
Oh, yeah. That was the test.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually I'm going to move us back over that way.
Are you asking me for playing out that scenario now?
On the test, sir. Will you tell me what you did?
Okay.
I'd really like to know.
Lieutenant, you are looking at the only Starfleet cadet who ever beat the no-win scenario.
That's true, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm the only one that's ever done it.
Ever human, that is.
Every human has ever beat the simulator.
How?
I reprogrammed the simulation so it was possible to rescue the ship.
That'll do it.
What?
You cheated. Changed the conditions of the test.
So you never faced death, Jimmy.
I never faced it.
That's part of your training.
The scenario is as much as about character as survival. Go ahead.
So you're teleporting somewhere.
See?
Back on.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to open the trap up for the Reliant.
Yeah.
Instead of days. Now we have minutes instead of hours.
Oh, yeah. So this is the part where Spock tells you that, you changed, you made up lies for Khan. Okay.
Yeah.
You lied.
You lied.
I exaggerated. Hours instead of days.
There you go. And moving on.
Inoperative below sea deck.
What is working on it?
Not much, Admiral. We have partial main power.
That's it?
Best we could do in
2 hours. Okay, so you back over here. Now let's see what happens.
Uh-oh.
So I can't outrun them.
And again, it's not NCC. It was just the Reliant and the Enterprise. Oh, what? Or what? Yeah.
James, don't inject.
Yeah.
Okay. You're injecting again.
And then, so...
153 Mark IV.
Scotty, can we make it inside? The Energizer's bypassed like a Christmas tree, sir.
All right, let's go on here.
The odds will be even.
You want to explain what's going on, Jimmy?
I'm getting ready to take them out.
Yeah. Yeah, but you went into a nebula. Right.
Well, James, you're skipping around so much. I mean, I can't tell you. Just
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so why did you go in the nebula?
Because you can't run your electronics. Okay, if I can take out the electronics, I can, go in there and fight them one-on-one.
Okay. Very good. And back to that.
I have a lot of damage on the Enterprise, James.
Okay, so you're going in.
Estimating nebula penetration in 2.2 minutes.
And now Khan has everything he could ever want and imagine, but not you. So there you go. After the vessel.
If they go in there, we'll lose them.
Explain it to them.
You got a torpedo over here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a photon torpedo.
No, he just don't want me going in there.
All right.
Follow us into the nebula.
I think we can guarantee that she'll follow us, Lieutenant.
So they follow you in, and
1 minute to nebula perimeter.
So it's kind of like a cat and mouse game.
Shields would be useless.
Can't use shields. Okay, so he's going nuts, right? He wants you, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's having a fit
because his helper wouldn't accelerate into the nebula, so he did it himself.
He's consistent.
We are now entering the Mutar Nebula.
And Jimmy, you can't confirm it. It did look like this.
Yeah.
All right.
Emergency lights.
Your lights go out because of the electrical interference. And here's Khan. There's no sensors, right? You can't. It's like you're flying blind.
Yeah.
Can't even look out the window.
See, I've gone on battery power.
Hmm.
All the electronics are off.
Okay. And then let's go back for next to this.
Now, I take that back. I had some electronics on, but not the life support ones.
Yeah.
Life support's on battery.
All right, so you're trying to target and
hold your course.
Okay. And all right, so you guys do this cat and mouse game for a while, and then you made your move.
Yeah.
And you can see right here, Jim. You want to explain what he's doing?
He's very powerful. See him lifting that up.
Yeah. You can see that there.
I mean, he could pick a whole car up. He's that strong.
Okay. Let's go on here. So he's saving his guy here. And then now we're back here at the lab.
Now this part's it.
Admiral, I've got to take the mains off the line.
Now, Jimmy, why did they have to take the mains off? What's going on with the dilithium crystals?
Well, he took his laser and opened up the side of me a second time.
Yeah.
And the cables that he cut is about 17 feet above Scott. They run on the wall. There's about 5 or 6 cables there, about 1.5 inches thick. And when he cut those cables with that laser, the coolant system went out on the crystals, and we're going into like a meltdown with the nuclear reactor, the proton reactor. Go ahead.
Okay, so Khan's upset. His friends there, or family, whatever, are dying. And now let's pan back to Enterprise.
Could you use another hand, Admiral?
Man the weapons console, Mr. Chekhov.
All right. Chekhov's back.
You followed me this far.
Did he ever have any more complications from the parasite?
Yeah. Actually, his ear was bleeding. The parasite was out, but he was okay. But his eardrum was, kind of screwed up there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just stand by photon torpedoes.
Oh, Jimmy, it wasn't photon torpedoes, right?
No, it wasn't proton torpedoes.
Photon.
Two-dimensional.
So, go back to this.
Full stop, sir.
And explain why it wasn't a photon torpedo. Like, how much powerful is it?
Well, to give you an idea how powerful the torpedo is that I developed, if I was to shoot it at the moon, you would see a 1 mile high tidal wave coming in from Pacific, and the Earth's axle would tilt.
Wow.
And you'd be probably where Antarctica is when the Earth rotation. It would mess up the Earth's gravitational field. So it's even dangerous to shoot it towards the moon. That's why I never let the Navy know I had it. Go ahead.
Well, now they do, but okay.
Yeah.
Two-dimensional thinking.
Yeah. So you did explain this early. So they actually did say in the movie they had two-dimensional thinking.
Yes. Only Montauk Boys have that, and so does
Nordics.
Yeah, Ka has it.
But not experienced. This pattern indicates two-dimensional thinking.
They don't really even explain it in the movie.
I know, but only Montauk Boys have that two-dimensional thing. Nobody else has it.
Okay.
What is it? Tell us more what two-dimensional thinking is about.
Right. Good question.
Well, we think outside the box. We see things in an abstract manner. We will adapt and overcome. It's something inbred. It's a genetically modified trait.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on here. We got there are different pan shots back and forth, and then you finally
look sharp.
You guys gonna make your move, Jimmy.
Fire.
And
so I'm going to knock his engine out.
There it goes. All right, so now they're incapacitated. More, not photon, but just torpedoes.
Yeah.
All right, so the engine is busted off, and Khan is dead in the water. Just the way you want it.
Just the way I want it.
Yeah. So you outsmarted the fox. Okay, let's go on here. He's
still deadly, James.
All right, let's see what they're saying.
Oh,
Jim, you want to comment about this particular character?
Well, there never was a female computer. That's all made up. And there's no black people on the Enterprise. It's all Caucasians. This is something else that was the writers put in. The Vulcans are a segregated race, and if they do breed with humans, they breed with white males or white females.
So Tuvok would not exist.
What'd you say?
Tuvok would not exist during that.
James, certain races abduct certain other races, like little grays will abduct any race on Earth. Reptilians will abduct any race. Tall white warriors, I don't know about them. They would, but the Vulcans, they'll only breed with Caucasian people because it's nothing racial. It's that certain races have certain traits, and I'm able to get a female Vulcan pregnant. Blacks can't do that. I don't know why.
Well, Jimmy, yeah, so the voice was actually a Vulcan male.
Well, the voice yeah, like intercom. Yeah, if you put on intercom, it'd be a male voice, but there never was a female voice there. Now, that's something Gene Roddenberry made up. He wanted to put an integrated crew. The crew of the Enterprise is not integrated. You either have Vulcans and you have humans. You may have some other species, but you'll never have a black and white crew because of racial problems. They just don't want racial problems.
Would you ever have a Cleon on board?
Yes, but that's only when there's a dignitary. You know what I mean? Klingons are not black, James. I don't know if Klingons abduct humans or not. You know what I mean? We're talking about something way above both of our heads now.
Yeah. Well, Jerry made a great comment here. He said that I know he was one of the writers of Star Trek, and he said he invented Tuvok. Well,
you could let him know that he got 3% screwed out of 11.2 billion. So you can take my word for it. But like I said, you could have been a multi-millionaire had this not happened.
You can't do Gene Roddenberry. He's no longer around.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So I know this is probably the best setup, but I'm going to squeeze it back because we're trying to get around the for the fair use copyright issues. So that's why we do that. But let's move on. Okay. Okay, so Khan's, he's pretty beat up.
Yeah. Now I can hear him because on his intercom, but he's breaking up, but I can hear him. Yeah, go ahead.
And he's still after you, Jimmy, right? Even like this. Okay.
Yeah, this guy is never going to give up.
Looks like he lost some fingers.
Well, he can take a lot more beating than you'll be dead if you took as much beating as he did.
Yeah. So tell us, what is he doing here?
He's getting ready to arm the Genesis device.
Okay. And then, so he doesn't just get ready; he actually does activate it.
Yeah.
So it's turning on right now, and the Enterprise is going to have to get out of Dodge here.
It's the Genesis wave.
Okay, so the Genesis wave just activated. Let's move on. Here's a wide shot here. And then
so he snuck off while I'm busy on the deck.
Yes, Spock. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about what the power source on the Reliant. I didn't know he had left the bridge. Go ahead.
All right. Moving on. Different pan shots. Okay, so here's Spock.
Going in there. Perhaps you're right. What is Mr. Scott's condition?
Okay, Jimmy, so what's about to happen?
He's going to put McCoy to sleep and then do a mind melt with him. Yeah. He wants to get in there to the reactor.
Okay.
This is always a difficult part for me because, I did not want to see him in there, but he's trying to save us.
Remember.
Scotty look incapacitated.
Yeah.
All right. So he's grabbing some dilithium crystals, Jimmy?
Yeah, he's got to get the crystals out He's got to vent the heat because we're going into a nuclear meltdown.
Yeah. All right, and now we pan back out to the nebula here. Let's move on. So that's pretty accurate, Jimmy, what it looked like?
Yeah.
Wow. And moving on. So he opens up this canister here, and he's getting contaminated. And all right, okay, so let's move on.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
So he's quoting what?
He's quoting Moby Dick.
Yeah.
For hate's sake, I spit my past.
Okay. So Spock is saving the day over here.
He's invented the heat, and he's put the new crystals in.
So that's why you wouldn't have been able to get away from the.
I can't get away because he's.
Yeah.
That powers up the warp drive, James.
Jimmy, can you confirm that's what it looks like when you go through warp?
Yeah, it's just a streak of light. The Enterprise can do incredible speeds, James. In fact, I know the classified speed, but it's much more than what the writers ever need.
So what was the maximum warp capabilities?
That's classified.
Can it go? Well, could you confirm if it goes above Mach 10?
That's classified as well.
Okay, and again, it's like an asymptote, right? A logarithmic scale.
Well,
numbers.
The writers don't know the true speed. I do know the true speed.
Okay. All right, Jimmy. Let's go on here. Okay. So Genesis just activated on board Khan's craft, and then you're making your getaway. Off you go. You want to comment about this scene, Jimmy?
That's all true. My ex did come up there next to my Vulcan girlfriend, and I'm going, oh my goodness, won't now, but I still have a lot going on.
Yeah, but the jacket.
Yeah, she stole my jacket. See, she's a little thief. Go ahead. All right. She gets into my stuff when I'm not watching her. Go ahead.
All right, so you're making your getaway, and then
Bones?
Better. Hurry.
So you're called down to.
See, I'm just now realizing Spock's not there.
Yeah.
I was so distracted.
You're called down to engineering.
Yeah, I ran down when I realized he wasn't there.
All right. I might have to reload it. So we're at.
No.
There it goes. Okay.
Go flood the whole compartment.
So you're going in there to try to rescue him, but he was what, Jimmy? Beyond rescue at this point?
He's starting to die, and I just it just shocked me when I saw him. He went in there.
All right. Let's go on here. Hey, Misha, do you have any questions or comments?
No.
Okay. So, and then let's go forward. So there he is.
He's blind. He's blind at this point.
So like he looked like he had cataracts in his eyes.
Yeah.
Wow. And moving on here. So he's trying to get up, look presentable to you.
Yeah, he's trying to be presentable.
All right.
So it's so sad to see this scene.
His Spock usually has everything together, like he's the one you
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
for help, and now he's.
Yeah.
Oh, let me back up. This part you probably should listen to.
Ship.
What did he say, Jimmy? Ship?
Yeah. He wants to know about the ship. Is it out
of range?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Was his skin actually melting off his face?
Yeah. Yes.
Don't grieve.
He told me not to grieve.
Just watch it go.
So maybe I'll turn it up a little bit. So this is the part where, can you actually confirm, did they actually do?
Yes. Yes. Everything's accurate. Very accurate, James.
Yeah.
This is something the writers didn't get to tinker with.
The needs of the few.
Or the one.
The needs of the few or the one. Okay. Before my live stream gets dinged, let's move on.
Till now.
So he says, "Tim now."
He always been my friend.
Do you think my solution? Spock.
Well, he tells me, he never took the test, I don't know. You're jumping around so much. He tells me he never took the test.
Yeah.
But they know I cheated. Go ahead.
The Vulcans do.
Yeah.
But you won, so I guess that was the goal, to win, right? At all costs.
Well, no human could pass the test,
So then he slides down.
Some.
I have been and always shall be.
Your friend.
Your friend. All right, Jimmy. So he died.
Yes, I kept him talking. I put my hand up.
Yeah.
To comfort him.
Nice. Yes. But I guess you don't hear it. Orchestra music in the background.
No.
That's
Gene Roddenberry.
Orchestra music. Like, well, that actually didn't happen. Okay. So he dies, and then
he just slid down and closed his eyes.
All right. Okay. So tell us what's going on here.
Okay. Well, first of all, that is not a coffin. What I did, I went down to torpedo room. I opened up the proton torpedo. I took the inner parts out, and I'm using the shell casing of the proton torpedo.
So they're doing a ceremony. Jimmy. So it was like 4 days, right? Before you could get.
Yes, I had to wait about 4 days to vent the heat out into space, and on about late the third or leading into the fourth day, I put on a radiation suit, and we got everybody out of the engine room, and we recovered his body. We took a pole with a hook on it, and grabbed him by his belt, and pulled his body out, and then I put his body into a body bag, and then put it into the coffin, and then I went back to his room, and he had like 5 to 7 of these little stone figures that he had carved out of I think it was jade stone.
Huh.
I think he might have done it when he was a kid, like some toys or something. But they were not religious items. They were just little toy figures that he had carved. And I think what happened was, you're not supposed to bring anything on the Enterprise but whatever is issued to you. So I think what happened was there were about 1.5 2 inches long. He put them in the palms of his hand, and he built up a collection of about 5 to 7 of these little stone figures of jade figures. I put that into the torpedo casing with him, along with his barrel robe. We dressed him in his barrel robe. In fact, I used a shower curtain. I shouldn't say a shower curtain. He had a privacy curtain in his bedroom. And like if you bring a dignitary on or a family member, you have a curtain to go between your bed and other bed.
Oh, wow.
And I took that privacy curtain and made a blanket to lay down in the coffin, like a burial cloth,
And Jimmy, why didn't they just take the body back to Vulcan to be buried with his family?
I felt very strong about that because had Starfleet gotten a hold of his body, they would give an autopsy. And I was not going to let anyone cut into Spock's body. In fact, the 4 days that he stayed in the chamber while it was cooling off, I put tarpaulins up. My girlfriend was crying. I had to put a chair down there for her to sit. And I put a station of sentry down there. But she cried, it hurt her real bad. And it hurt me because Vulcans don't show emotion openly. But she was crying, And the ceremony is very different than what you see there. Now, Native American Paiutes, they'll draw a round circle about 10 feet or 12 feet in diameter. And they'll put one horizontal line and one vertical line in the circle. And then you walk around, you put one step in the circle, one step out. This is custom for Native American Paiutes. Now, I had never buried a Vulcan, so I gave Spock a Native American Paiute burial. And I took things that were in my pouch. I do not want to let the viewers tonight know what I had in my pouch, but I placed something in the coffin that is of Paiute, that deals with the Paiute religion. And I had to be strong for the crew. You can't show you're breaking down. So, I did the ceremony, the ancient ceremony, and I took the eagle feather. I laid it on top of the torpedo, and then Scott played the bagpipes. I did say a short ceremony, but it's a little different from what is being heard. But a short, farewell to them after I did the ceremony. But I did call the spirits the night before, and I prayed with the spirits. How do you bury a Vulcan? So the only thing that I have are the Native American spirits, and I've requested the spirits to watch over Spark and to carry Spark over. And because Spark wasn't very religious, you see what I'm saying? Spiritual, I mean.
Was that common for Vulcans to be not very spiritual?
Well, his brother was spiritual, but now Spock was not. He never did show much interest in it. But I knew as seriously, he had passed over. And my concern was for his soul. And that's why I requested the great spirits of the sky to be with Spock.
Yeah, Misha Johnson's here as well. Misha, do you have any questions or comments?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, great. And then here's a question from the chat. Why did they not teleport him out, Spock?
Because I did not want nobody to autopsy him. I would not gonna let someone cut up Spark's body.
Well, maybe it's a teleport. I guess he was already contained.
I'm the commander of the ship.
Yeah.
I do as I please. I'm not
Yeah.
going to let Starfleet cut Spark up. I am the commander.
Okay. All right, Jimmy. Let's go on here. So they're making a little speech, and you're holding your emotions back.
Not fear the sacrifice of debate,
Cut the volume up, James.
and we will not debate his profound wisdom with these proceedings.
Cut the volume up on the video.
I did.
Okay, I didn't know.
I can bring it up to max, but I've never done that before.
Well, maybe your speaker's not close enough. Your speaker that physically by you.
I think it's just the audio just dropped really low. But yeah, let's just see. Try it now.
Of my friend, I can only say this.
Hold on. I need to switch over there. Say this.
Of all the souls I have encountered in my travels.
Sorry, I have to do this for a copyright reason.
Yeah.
This was the most.
His is with the most. Jimmy, you want to finish it?
Human.
Yeah,
I said that.
And then Scotty plays the bagpipes. It would have been awesome if you would have done that in the movie, but
He did do it. He did do it.
Sorry, I was panning out earlier. I didn't see that. Awesome. Look at that.
Yeah.
And then the feather is on the coffin.
Yeah, I put the eagle feather on it, but doesn't show it.
Off you go. And you sent it over to.
I've shot it to the planet.
The new.
See, I can't keep his body on there because the body is radioactive. I've got to do something with his body.
Makes sense.
So I gave him a Navy funeral. I'm an old Navy guy,
Yeah. To the new world. And then, so this was 4 days later. You go back, right? Because this time was headed back to wherever off to. And as you can see, the nebula is gone now.
Well, it's starting to form an atmosphere.
All right. So now you're back in your room here. I guess it feels different, right? Because Spock is nowhere.
It's not there. I can't read. You see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
So aggravating not to have your glasses. Your reading glasses, yeah.
I don't mean to intrude.
Now, I really needed this because my son, when he talked to me, and I didn't know how to act around my son, but he came into my room and we talked, and I really needed that, Go ahead.
Okay.
He said he was proud to be my son.
All right, so the son comes in and.
Not long. I should be on the bridge.
All right. Let's go. Sorry, right here.
You never have faced death.
They brought it up again, Jimmy. You never faced it.
I never faced. I've always cheated death. He's got me thinking about it.
Huh.
Cheated death.
Oh, and cheated death. So watch the movie to hear the full conversation. We have to do this one here. Okay. Right here.
Tricked my way out of death. And patted myself on the back for my ingenuity.
And this is the first time you had to face death.
Yeah, I'm telling my son.
That how we face death is at least as important as how we face life.
All right, Jimmy.
I've never had that conversation with my son. He's trying to connect to me, and I don't know how to handle that,
That's where ideas begin. Maybe you should listen to them.
Listen to the ideas, Jimmy. That's the takeout of this whole video today.
Yeah.
So off he goes.
Is that what you came here to say? Mainly.
Yeah, we're going to push forward here.
To be your son.
He's proud to be my son.
Yeah. There you go. Some hugs, and then we.
Ship Enterprise departing for Study Alpha 5 to pick up the crew of USS Reliable.
Jimmy, is this the first, first meeting with him? Did you continue the relationship with him, or did he go back to?
Not really. I didn't have much more relation with him because his mother's real controlling. You know, she uses him as a weapon.
Well, eventually it'll backfire because they'll probably become, angry at each other and move on with their lives.
Well, it's kind of late in life for that now, isn't it?
Okay, let's.
He's really not dead.
So your comment about Spock right now.
Yeah.
Spock is really not dead.
Well, not his soul. His soul is alive.
Better resting place, I might never know.
Better resting place.
Yeah. I want him to be there.
You okay, Jim? How do you feel?
How do you feel, Jim?
Well, I was relieved that I, placed him there. I didn't want nobody to cut him up. John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel young.
All right, so now we go pan back to the planet.
I like for you don't have to play the video, but I like for them to hear the message of when he speaks, show his coffin. Play and show his coffin. Show his coffin.
You go back to pan back to the world. There's some rhubarb or gunneray, chilensis. Looks like some English ivy in there, Jimmy.
But there's no food crop in there, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't. Yeah, you're right. There is no food crop.
Now if we do the next show, I don't know if we are, but if we do the next show where he comes back, I'll tell you what I had.
Yeah, get some
there. Yeah.
Iliads. All right, let's keep going here. And there you are, Mark. Oh, did it pan out? I must have done it too fast. So there it is, Jimmy.
Yeah, I put him in a beautiful place.
Mark IV. So tell us, is Mark IV like code word for a clone?
James, that's classified, but that is,
Because there, I think there are Mark IV clones, but
well, don't inject. You're injecting again, and the writers are injecting.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Jimmy. So there we have it. I think we might have hit the end of this movie.
I have one more question. Does this planet have a name?
Play Spock's words, his last words, James, before I leave.
Right before he died?
No, go back to the stars when I get ready.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, you're right. There is something right there. Okay. Give me a moment. Let me just push it.
He's going to talk. He's going to talk and explain the mission.
Yes, hold on. I just got to think that might have been right here.
No.
Listen. Play it up high. All the way, James. It's not up all the way. It's not up all the way, James. The volume
no, but Jimmy.
These are the continuing voyages of the starship Enterprise. Their ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds.
And Jimmy, that he did actually say this.
Yeah.
The real Spock, not just.
Well, that's the mission statement. That's the mission statement. One of the prime directives,
To seek out
new life forms and new civilizations.
And to boldly go where no man, or I probably should say woman, has gone before.
Well, it goes back to Prime Directive 1 and Prime Directive 2, you know.
And what are the prime directives?
Oh, well, let's see. Let me think here for a moment. Okay. Prime Directive 1, no identification of self or mission. No interference with the social, cultural, or technological development of said planet. No reference to space, other worlds, or advanced civilizations. The exception to this is if said society has already been exposed to the concepts listed herein. However, in that instance, Section 2 applies. Section 2. If said species has achieved levels of technological and or social development as described in Section 1, or has been exposed to the concept listed in Section 1, no Starfleet crew person will engage with said society or species without first gathering extensive information on the specific traditions, laws, and cultures of that species civilization. Then Starfleet crew will obey the following. If engaged with the diplomatic relations with said culture, will stay within the confines of the culture's restrictions. No, and this is important, no interference with the social development of said planet. The Prime Directive was frequently applied to less developed planets which had not yet discovered warp travel or subspace communication technology. If you do not know the Prime Directive, then you understand why I did not intervene in Earth's matters. And yes, the Navy has a little control over me at Area 51, but when I step on that craft, the United States Navy, yeah, I may carry traditions of the United States Navy in space, but I've got more pressing problems with aliens outside of Earth, coming from other planets. And let the Joint Chiefs of Staff worry about running Earth. I had a starship up there, and I'm going to run it my way. And yes, it's a Navy, but it's a different kind of a Navy.
That's the spirit. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for your service. And Godspeed. So, audience members, thank you. We had some great questions here tonight, great feedback. Misha, thank you for joining us. Did you have any final questions or comments?
I did want to know what that planet was named. Do we know? Because it looks like it's now a living planet. It was a dead planet, now it's a living planet. Does it have a name?
Misha, that is, we don't have any type of charts of that planet.
Okay.
Our telescope's not even pointed in that section of the sky.
Okay.
And the name is a Vulcan name, okay?
Okay.
It wouldn't be like...
Wouldn't understand
it. Named after one of our astronomers. But it has a number, not a name. Now, what the Vulcans are trying to do is establish another world. And I do not know at this point will we ever join them in this new world. But you have to look at, the pollution here on Earth, all the wars, all the racial tension that we're having. And like I said, certain races cling to other races. And it's strictly Caucasian that they want to interbreed with. You'll never have mixed races on the Enterprise. So everything that's been wrote on in these TV scripts is is DI stuff.
Thank you, Jimmy. I want to show something here again. This was the title credit. So it says here, the persons and events in this film are fictitious. Any similarity to actual persons or events is unintentional. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, they're the one that made the movie. I didn't ask them to insert what I did into it. I mean, that's you know, uh, naval intelligence is trying to disclose it in a soft disclosure manner.
Okay, very good. The other thing is, we didn't mention this, or you didn't mention this. Do you remember this scene where you were trying to get away in the nebula? So that nebula was also in the other movie that we discussed with when they tried to find God. You remember? So
Yes.
So you want to explain that? Tell us a little bit about that nebula.
It's the end of space. You're going into uncharted space. We're right on the edge of where all the maps end. Nothing's charted beyond that. I'm at the edge of space.
Okay. All right, Jimmy. I think that might cover it. Let's see. If anybody have any questions in the chat? Let's see here. Okay. I think this show's been long enough. So everybody, please go to healingsoulsurvivors.org and please make a donation to my Give Butter link. Yes, Jimmy.
I would just like to say I'm not affiliated with James Rink. And James has the Healing Soul Survivors. I'm not affiliated with Healing Soul Survivors. I'm not in need of that organization. But if anybody wants to get a hold of me, you get a hold of James, and James gets a hold of me. I do not do public lectures. I'm not here to give you spiritual advice. I'm only here to try to find a corporate sponsor. That's all. Go ahead.
And we're trying to, mostly you, trying to get a sponsor to go to Rwanda to try to find astronaut William Rutledge.
I never said that, James.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that we're working on. And then there was the Montauk trying to put an expedition, but I guess that's long since gone.
James, I never said that either. James, don't inject.
We can go back, and I do remember us talking about it. But
I'm sure you did, but
yeah.
But you're mixing the mission statement tonight. Stated. I know you're trying to be helpful, but we've done over 20 shows now, 20 X-Files.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I mean, I forgive you for that. We've done over 20 X-Files. And sometimes you're getting them mixed up. I want to, like I said, be very clear. I'm not here to do a public speech or go anywhere or to give anyone any type of spiritual advice. I'm only stating tonight, if there's a corporation that wants to sponsor me, you get a hold of James. James gets a hold of me. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, thank you, Jimmy. So go to Healing Soul Survivors. You can also go to Neological Tech. You can purchase a book. Go up here. And then so this has 400 pages of secret space program material, some of my own experiences and how I woke up. And then you can also purchase a meditation device. I'm not going to try to pick it up right now, but you can go to, in the link, go to Super Soldier Con for my conference coming up October 8th to the 12th. So we have early bird tickets available now, food passes, and we've got 22 speakers. So let's see, maybe even Misha will come. We'll see about that. Or Jimmy. We'll get you all there, or an audience members. Hopefully you all come too. So yes, Ronnie, thank you. Healing Soul Survivors. And you can also visit supersoldiertalk.com. I have all my posts. We recommend that you go subscribe on Rumble. Because about a third of my archive is missing here on YouTube. And okay, I think that might cover it. Go to UFOnightwatch.com if you're in the Las Vegas area. Well, actually, Misha, why don't you? You say that.
Oh, that's okay. Really, I think this show is about you, and about. I just came as a support, just a co-host, and you. At the first, I already talked about. You already said it. So if they want to find out about me, they can go to the first of it and listen again. But my main thing is my support groups. They're there to help people find out who they are and what's going on with them and their experiences, and have a supportive place that is free from anybody listening. They're all private. And so that's what I do. That's what's most important to me.
Very good. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Jimmy. Bye, Misha. Thank you, audience members. And everybody stay tuned. I've got a special message from LifeWave. Actually, I got my LifeWave patches right here. So you get a supply of 30 days of these patches. You put them on your back or wherever, and they will bring light frequencies into your body to help you tune into wellness. I like to say healing, but it brings you back to the 0 point. So where you can become healed and integrated, healed. So let's go ahead and call it goodbye, everybody. Thank you all. See you all later. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Hold on. Oh my gosh. I think it's... Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode. Today, we have LifeWave brand partner Arthur Gross with us again today to discuss a fascinating product that's been making waves in the wellness and energy space in the life, and that is the LifeWave Energy Patch. Arthur, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hi, James. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back on.
Great, thank you. So let's dive right in. Tell us exactly what is the LifeWave Energy Patch and how does it work?
The LifeWave Energy Patch is a 2-patch system. It's a patch that you apply to the body, and it helps your body burn fat and turn it into energy.
Wow, that sounds incredible. So it's not like a supplement or something that enters the body.
That's correct, James. There's no drugs or anything that enters the body. Photobiomodulation is the process of light making change in the body. Much like the sun tells your body how to create vitamin D, the LifeWave patches do that with specific frequencies to bring on specific results.
That sounds fascinating. Can you share a bit about the science behind it?
Yes, there's been clinical studies done proving that the energy patch is to induce beta oxidation to burn fat and convert it into vital energy. There's more. It induces beta oxidation, increases ATP, cellular energy, engages natural energy field, improves clarity and motivation, supports physical activity, balances cognitive vitality, increases vital energy, supports metabolic function, supports homeostasis, and unblocks negative energy.
Wow, that sounds quite impressive. Can you give us an example of how we could, or how could I, or you, or someone, our listener, use one of these patches for best results?
Yes, I had a long drive from Florida to Houston, Texas last week, about a 12 to 14-hour drive. And I applied the energy patches that morning when I left Florida. And I went all the way to Houston. I didn't nod at the wheel. I didn't get tired or restless. I made it all the way to Houston. I wasn't worn out when I got there. I felt just fine. And then I wore them on the trip back and had the same result.
Great. So how would you apply them to your body?
You can use them in several places. It's a 2-patch system. That's what the envelope looks like. It is a tan patch and a white patch. There we go. You put the tan patch on the left and the white patch on the right. And you just peel it and stick it to your body. Left, tan on left, white on right. And you don't even have to stick it to your skin. You could actually stick it to your clothing. Sometimes when I'm on my feet all day, I'll stick them on the bottom of my feet. There's different pressure points in the directions where you can use. Sometimes you can put them on your elbows. You can put them on your lung one, on your chest up here. And basically, wherever you put them, it's going to move the energy through your body and create more energy naturally.
Well, that's amazing. So that's part of the reason why we're doing these interviews, because that's something that I didn't even know. I just grabbed one of those yellow patches and put it on me, and I had plenty of energy. So now I'm going to have to go use the white one new and see how it works.
It's a 2-patch system, and there's 15 of each in each sleeve.
Okay, thank you. So it's like, is it a natural energy boost without the crash that comes from caffeine or energy drinks?
That's exactly it. It's causing your body to burn fat and create vital energy naturally. There are no stimulants involved. The only thing going into your body is your own light reflecting from the patch.
Wow, absolutely. So Arthur, thank you so much for joining us today. There has been a very enlightening process in this conversation, and I'm sure our listeners enjoy this as well. So why don't you, let's just go ahead and wrap this episode up and stay tuned for more exciting conversations, optimizing your health and energy. So Arthur, any last final comments?
No, thank you very much, James. I appreciate you having me here.
All right. Until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.